right, welcome. This is How We Made It on LetItFlyMedia.com. I'm our Director of Brand Strategy, Tom Martin, and with me is our co-founder, Andrew Carter, and this video is so much fun. This is our social vid for the Walter Payton Man of the Year social campaign for Dustin Colquitt, formerly of the Chiefs.
Oh, man.
What a career, but this video was so much fun for us. It involved going and tracking down Paul Rudd, getting Patrick Mahomes to pitch in, and it was for Team Smile. That was the client. Our job was to pick up late in this campaign and get a video to them that would get people talking. We think we pulled it off. We'll go ahead and break down the video after we watch it right now.
Hey Chiefs Kingdom, we have unfinished business. We gotta help our punter. Pay attention.
Finally, some action. Hey guys, you can help me win the Walter Payton Man of the Year award right now. Quote tweet this video with this hashtag and my name. It's Colquitt. You guys are the loudest fans in the world. Tweet like you're the loudest fans in the world. Your tweets can help me win. If you don't believe me,
then believe me, because it's 20 degrees outside here in New York. He punted it all this way, and there's no one else I would stand in the freezing cold for than Dustin Colquitt. Tweet this video, retweet this video, tweet it. I don't need those. As many times as possible. The deadline is in the next few days. What is it, Sunday? Sunday! Look, tweet hashtag name. You're Chiefs Kingdom. You're the loudest stadium in the league. We need Dustin to get a Man of the Year award. He was there last year, didn't get it. Not enough Chiefs fans showed up. So tweet, because Dustin deserves this award. Come on, Arrowhead, let me hear ya.
Andrew, this was fun.
That was something else. Honestly, like, it came together, and what was cool about it was, at the time, it was so different from any video we had done before.
Right. And
between the deadline, the communication, the cause, the person, Dustin himself, and the creativity we got to do, plus the fast turnaround, which we love. It was kind of like a dream video.
So I want to put this in perspective for everyone. The entire project consisted of not just this video,
right,
but also going and interviewing Dustin at his house for a more serious video, which you can actually find this on his Twitter page.
Great editing by you, by the way.
Thank you. But great job by you to get this thing even rolling. So Team Smile got involved with us, how? To get this video going?
Basically, Dustin was up for Walter Payton Man of the Year. It's the second year in a row of being up for that award. And, Dr. Bush of North Kansas City Dental, who also runs Team Smile with Dustin, felt like he wanted a cool campaign that could potentially go viral to help Dustin's cause get in front of the voters for Walter Payton Man of the Year and make him look like the great guy he was. But he also knew that if you want to go viral and get his face out there, you got to be creative. So we got a call from them. I was really happy that they gave us a call and they said, can you pull this off? And it was interesting because we said, yeah, but we can't just do one or the other. We have to have the serious video that really shows how great he is with that charity, which you pulled off amazingly. And then we have the one that, people take notice and they can vote for him and all that stuff. So it was kind of a project of two videos, but this one in general was pretty special.
Yeah, we dropped a blooper reel afterwards just to kind of reactivate that. And this was a learning experience for us because it was not just creating content, but it was a campaign.
Right.
And you had some long hours trying to make sure that we had a lot of people get eyeballs on this, which I think helped get the word out. With this video, I guess the first thing we had to do was come up with copy. We sat, you and me, and we thought, like, what do we write for a social video? What lines do we give Dustin? Who's involved?
Can Dustin act?
Can he act?
But he's going to have to.
We came up with, it needs to start with Patrick because anyone's going to watch something with Patrick. So how did we get that process rolling knowing that's where we started?
So thankfully we have some connections to the team. We have great relationships with the Chiefs and it continues to grow and get better to this day. And we've been able to run into Patrick before at different events, his charity ball, for example. So we basically sent a few emails to some people and said, look, this is for Dustin. We know everyone's asking so many things of Patrick, but can he just say 2 lines for this video and it will make the difference?
Yeah.
And it was funny because once that got approved, because they are great, and they were like, yeah, no problem. And Patrick's like, yeah, I'll help Dustin. He's the man. So once we got that approved, I remember we were kind of like writing the script and we're like, we need one more person. Who's that going to be? Like,
How did we come up with Paul Rudd?
I feel like
Did Dustin volunteer it? Because they're friends.
They're friends. So I think when we were texting Dustin back and forth, we started kind of planning what this video might be. We sent him the script to be like, "Yo, do you like this?" And he's like, "I love this. Let me."
He was so cool about this, by the
Yeah.
way. He was the most gracious person, just the best personality to work with. But he was very involved when you were texting him. He wanted to know, hey, how can I help? How can I make it better?
Yeah, he was like thrilled to do this, and I think his motivation was Team Smile is going to get noticed, and this is fun, so let's do it. The Paul thing came up because we needed one more person, and yeah, we found out that they're really good friends. It goes way back to Paul actually was a Steelers fan growing up before the Chiefs. He loves both teams, but as a kid, he just liked the Steelers, and he rooted for Dustin's dad. So then when he became, like, he was a Chiefs fan too, and Dustin was on the Chiefs, it was like, dude, I rooted for your dad growing up, and they just met, and they became really good friends. So we asked Dustin, can Paul help out? And they connected, and next thing you know, we're emailing Paul Rudd, and he says, come out to New York, and we did it. It was incredible.
So I want to touch on a couple things with the video. Our goal was to keep it pretty short. You know, minute 15 is the final product on this. And we also wanted to make sure that once kind of Patrick got out of the way, once Patrick did his part, got you interested, we wanted to show that Dustin is a fun guy, and that, you know, on a video like this, you're just simply trying to get people to enjoy it and share it. So what better than for Dustin to show off some of his sarcasm? The funny thing was, we go down to Overland Park where he lives. We did the serious shoot in his house, and then we go outside and we do this fun setup. And Dustin was a little, at first he like, we've covered him. We know what his personality is.
Right.
He was a little locked in.
Right.
And at some point,
he wanted to do it, but it was just like unnatural.
And at some point, you just sort of talked to him, and what happened?
He's like, all right, I'm just gonna be an actor. Like, that's
just be an actor.
We're like, he's just like, be an actor. I was like, be Paul Rudd.
The next take was our best one.
Right.
He crushed it from then on out.
When we were in that field doing that shoot, credit to you, because when we were writing the script, you had that moment where you said, he just needs to move his head and look at the camera and give a weird look. And it was so perfect. And he had so much fun with that. It was the eyebrow raise. And it was just like, that moment to me was like, okay, that he's in his element.
We were going to shoot the other eyebrow, but he couldn't raise it. So we flipped the shot, and he was like, this eyebrow can go up. And I'm like, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it was so much fun. So
that part was cool. But then, getting Paul Rudd on his schedule, working with his assistant, pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Wound up being a great guy from everything you told me, but how did it happen?
So it was weird timing because he was actually on vacation with his family as we were planning this, and it was like, and I'm pretty sure he had the Oscars too. I mean, no big deal.
Oscars or Emmys, one of those two.
Yeah. So we knew he was a busy person, but he likes Dustin so much, so we said, whenever you have a moment, like, we're not going to rush this, just let us know. And so we got in touch with his assistant and basically did a lot of communication with his assistant. Looked at his schedule, and we found literally a 1-hour window on one day that we had to get to.
Yep.
And so we get on a plane to New York, and we know we're going straight off the plane into a cab, straight to the shooting location, and he's going to be there. And it was just like a lot of planning led into a 1-hour shoot, but it worked out great. And actually, how it all worked out once we got there was pretty interesting too.
We didn't write a single thing for Paul.
Didn't have to.
Paul, you just walked up and you were like, hey, just do your thing, have some fun with this.
We did write a few, like, in the script there were lines, and it was like, if you like these, use them.
But
if you want to do whatever you want,
So I think once we got that part done, it just came down to how do we, and by the way, just so people know, on the tech side of this, we had a boom mic. We wanted to make sure that it was a very simple setup. We had Billy's Black Magic, and I believe that was it.
So yeah, Billy was the videographer, getting all the lighting. It was perfect. Ben, our co-founder, was on boom because we needed an extra set of hands. He was part of the planning process too, so he went with us. And then I guess I can say I directed Paul Rudd. So I was a director on this, which is that's on my resume now.
Well, we also didn't want to soup it up too much.
No.
We could have these like cool neon lights, but it's just it's guys asking for something on social media. Why overdo it?
It's fun. The one part of the story on how we made it that I think is just really cool to tell people in general. You're in New York City with one of the most famous actors of our time. Where are we going to go that people don't notice this guy, right? Where can we film? So we found this park in New York. It's like a triple decker worth cars and then like fields in the middle.
It's the most New York thing ever.
It's the most New York thing ever.
Yeah.
And there's a soccer field at the very top. The place was actually under construction. So we didn't even know if we could get in. We get in, go to the soccer fields at the top, get up there. We're in the middle of New York City on an afternoon at a park, and there is no one. It is just us, which is a filmer's dream. It's probably awesome, obviously, for Paul, so we can just focus, get the shot done, get the shoot done, and as soon as we finish, people came up to play soccer, and we were out of there. It was just like perfect timing, one of those things where everything came together.
So for us, it helps that we're younger. We know social media well, we know Twitter well, and we felt like we should get a little anticipation on this thing before it goes out there.
Right.
So I may have tweeted something along the lines of, hey, Chiefs Kingdom, look out for something pretty soon. That seemed to take off, and all of a sudden the video wasn't getting posted, and I'm sitting in Pittsburgh like, what's going on?
Yeah,
What's happening?
I don't know. Honestly, we were traveling so much at that point. I'm not kidding. I don't remember what airport I was at. I'm not kidding, but I do remember being at an airport.
Yep.
Waiting for it to drop because like we had plans on what time it was going to drop.
Yep.
Can't go too deep into that story, but basically we thought it was going to drop at a certain time because Dustin had told us, and the time he told us made sense.
Right.
But they were in a playoff run, and some meetings came up, and he can't be on his phone during a meeting.
Right.
So it was planned. That should have been the time, but things happened, and then everyone's just like, what's going on?
Chiefs Kingdom was not happy with me for about an hour and a half. But once the video got posted, we were really happy with the amount of people who we were in contact with to retweet it. The amount of legwork on the back end, just to get a campaign going, how much work was that?
So it was a lot of work. I think we learned a lot about campaigns are 24/7. They're not just you make a video and you're done. And when you're campaigning, you're promoting, you're getting in touch with people, you're emailing people, you're emailing your friends and your friends' friends to retweet and it doesn't stop, right? You're monitoring numbers. So that was a big learning experience. One quick shout out about this whole video that we forgot was the graphics.
Yep.
The graphics were incredible in this. And I kind of thought about the turnaround. So we got to editing, but we needed a lot of graphics. So Billy was calling Dakota, our graphics artist, and they were on the phone for like 2 or 3 hours back and forth just to get those moments of all those tweets up.
Right.
And that was maybe what made the video, in my opinion. It just looks so sharp. So
yeah, that's our guy Dakota.
Yeah, Dakota's incredible. So that was a really cool thing to see the editing come together, and then once it's out there, campaign mode, it just doesn't stop.
I think for different videos that fall into this category, where it's a campaign, it's a social video, I think the main things, looking back on it, that we wanted to accomplish that I felt like we did were keep it loose, hence no big production on it, but be willing to go take a chance to get the right person. And I think, it would have done well without Paul in it, but the fact that you pushed to get Paul Rudd in this video and we went for it, we did all the legwork on the back end to make it happen. I think that's what pushed across the goal line for me. Is there something about it that you think, moving forward for different videos like this that we could do in the future, what do you think that we really tackled well?
I think it was putting together a plan in a short timeline and sticking to that plan and pushing for it, like you said. As much credit as I'd like us to take for writing the script and getting it all together, like, look, that's our job.
Right.
It doesn't happen without Dustin being an awesome guy. Like, you're not going to get Mahomes and Rudd to just say yes and drop their schedules and do something unless they really respect the guy. So that was probably the most important part, was our subject was so cool that it really allowed everything to come together.
The nice thing is that, this video, again, Team Smile came to us and we didn't have a big timeline. We had to turn this thing very, very quickly. And that's something that we pride ourselves on, but most importantly, like, the client needed it.
Well,
we got it done.
I think if we're calling this how we made it, you think about that video, right? You watch it and you say, man, they got all these people together. It's probably thought it out for months. But you know how we made it? We wrote the script in 2 hours. We got in a flight. We shot for an hour. We edited for 4 hours, and it was on social the next day.
Yep.
Sometimes you just have to make things, and it's not all the planning.
And again, the nice thing is we had 3 videos come from this, and I felt like we got the most out of the shoots that we did, as opposed to just doing the one video.
Right.
So something else that works for us. Any other thoughts on this before we leave it alone?
No, I just say if no one has seen it, go watch the actual serious video kind of about the charity and the cause behind Team Smile. I think it's really cool. And then the bloopers as well, because, I mean,
it's pretty good.
Paul was doing a lot of one-liners. They couldn't all make it, but it came together really well. And the last thing is Billy did an amazing job. Like, we had the the ball was transitioning and floating, and there were certain things that had to come together that he edited like amazingly with different angles. Like we said, in only an hour, that's not easy to do. So I thought it was a great team effort.
There's all kinds of videos that we come across that we do for all kinds of different subjects and clients, but this ranks as one of the more fun ones we've ever done, no doubt.
It was a blast.
All right, that has been How We Made It. We'll see you next time.